This is episode 9 of my winter series where I make dishes that celebrate produce of the season, and this week it's all about purple sprouting, and this one's a bit different because I'm starting off with the purple sprouting element of my dish, which can be a standalone in itself. So you can make this as a side dish, as a starter, as part of a meze, and it's just a really delicious way of eating purple sprouting. If you've not had purple sprouting before, it's basically really similar to tender stem broccoli. It tends to have a bit of a larger sprout, I guess, if you want to call the head, and that has a lovely purple color which turns really nice dark green when you cook it, and I find a little bit less bitter than tender stem, so love those. And I'm pairing them here with a dressing of chili, lemon zest and juice, and some chopped almonds and mint, and drizzle it with a bit of extra virgin olive oil. It's absolutely delicious. You just have to chop up all the aromatics using a back and forth motion with your knife, as small as you can get them, or you can use a food processor if you'd rather. Then we just need to blanch our purple sprouting that's been halved down the middle in some really salty boiling water for 5 minutes. That'll mean that they're cooked all the way through, but they still have a nice bite to them. Now when you drain them, just put them in an ice bath or leave them under running cold water to stop the cook, and make sure you keep that lovely bright green color. Then we're going to dress them in all our aromatics, mix them up, and then top with some lemon juice and a bit of extra virgin olive oil, and they are beautiful as is, so delicious, a lovely way to eat them. But I wanted to make this a full meal, so I am adding them to a winter rainbow salad with lots of different elements. For my protein, I'm using tempeh, which I am marinating here. So with tempeh, you want to start by slicing it and then steaming it, and then I'm going to prep a little marinade for it. But you can equally use some tofu, which you're just going to make sure to pat really dry, or some chicken as well. All would be really nice. Then I'm going to prep my marinade just by mixing some honey, miso, soy sauce and rice wine vinegar until it's fully combined, adding a little pinch of chili powder, and then tasting it to make sure it's as delicious as I want it to be. If not, just add whatever it needs, a bit more honey or a bit more chili, and then I'm just going to incorporate my tempeh into that marinade and leave it for a good half an hour so it has time to soak it up. It's also a great time to eat cauliflower at the minute, so I'm going to roast them in a really nice glaze. So starting off by prepping it, I am going to snap off all these outer leaves, but I am going to roast those as well because they are really nice. They're a bit more fibrous. If you have time to peel the larger ones, then that will be slightly nicer, but they are nice as is also. And then I'm going to cut up my head of cauliflower into small chunks and do the same with the leaves, all about the same sizes. Then at this point, I like to give the cauliflower a good rinse in some icy cold water just to make sure I've removed any dirt that was in amongst the leaves, if you will, and then just drain it, pat it dry, and put it on a baking sheet. And then I'm going to coat it in mango chutney, some oil, and then lovely flavor from nigella seeds, coriander seeds, and some turmeric powder, which will also give it a really nice color. And then just rub that in with your hands, try and get into all the little crevices that you can, and if needed, add a bit more mango chutney and oil if you had a slightly bigger cauliflower. Then roast it in a hot oven for a good hour and make sure to shake it halfway through so that it browns evenly. Now carrots are also in season at the minute, so I'm going to prep these in ribbons to add some freshness and also a little bit of crunch to my salad. To do this, I'm going to peel 3 carrots, and then I'm going to keep my peeler and peel ribbons into it until I get to the core, then turn it around and start peeling again. Keep going like this until I can't possibly peel it anymore and just eat that little bit of core as a snack. I'm going to dress these beautiful ribbons with some lemon juice, turmeric powder, and some grated ginger. If you don't want this to be too spicy, feel free to halve the amount of ginger that I'm putting in. And look at those beautiful vibrant ribbons. It's basically an edible immunity shot. And then it's optional, but I'm making a lovely creamy dressing to go on top. So for that, I'm just going to whisk together some lemon juice and tahini, and then it'll start to seize up. At that point, I'm going to slowly add in some water and keep whisking until it goes a lovely creamy consistency. I'm adding water as needed to get to the right level of creaminess, but still pourable. And then salt it and taste to make sure you're happy with the flavor. Finally, once my tempeh or tofu or chicken has marinated for long enough, I just need to roast it in the oven for 15 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. And all that's left to do now is to assemble. For my carbs, I've gone for some nice fluffy basmati rice, but you could go for any kind of noodle as well that you fancy, or some quinoa or any kind of grains, really whatever you want. And then just assemble all the elements together in this lovely rainbow salad full of vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff, really nutritious but full of flavor and really fresh, and a nice change for the winter to the typical comfort classics. I've also added a little bit of kimchi just for some freshness and a bit of spice. And that's it as always. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more every week, and check out my website for all my recipes.